Thomas Holyday YouTube video blog. Drinking Water for Chipmunks by Thomas Holyday, Chapter 3. Water pollution hurts our backyard animals. To remind you, the purpose of this little book is to look into all the issues affecting drinking water for backyard animals. One thing for sure, if our outdoor friends could get access to the safe water that our indoor pets enjoy, they would be a lot better off. That bowl of clean water next to the pet food dish is not always present in the backyard environment. You see, the indoor water passes the test of our town municipalities and water commissions. Before it enters the pipes to our house, it has undergone a bevy of corrections to make sure it is absolutely safe. If a new disease enters the water supply, the commission treats it immediately. This may not be true in all countries, but it is for sure in the United States. Let's see how bad the backyard supply can be. Assume it is not from the garden hose connected to the house water supply. That water, if we use it for our outdoor friends, is safe. Let's assume, though, that the water is available from a stream, puddle, or a pond, and include the constructed pond that we have built if it is not regularly treated for pollution. First of all, the water that is required in the body of all animals has to be harmless. Water that is contaminated and cannot support life is polluted water. That means it must be free of all metal salts and oxides, including copper, iron, calcium, and lead. You've heard how children can get sick from ingesting old paint chips that use lead. It must also be free of harmful bacteria such as Vibrio, which contains and causes cholera. Let's go back to basics and see where the water in the backyard originates. There are two types of water on our planet. One is surface water, which, as it says, is that water on the surface of the earth, like lakes, rivers, the oceans, and the seas. Groundwater is the other type, which is formed when surface water drains into the earth. Groundwater can also be caught in strata in the earth and come back to the surface through springs. Now, the scientists refer to polluted water, depending on its source, entering the habitat or environment. Point or non-point sources feed surface or groundwater with pollution. Point sources are easily identified as a single source, such as a sewer pipe discharging into a lake, or a gasoline tank leaking into the earth below a gasoline station. In other words, it's pretty much a single origin. Non-point sources are those that come from many locations, such as a runoff from agricultural fields, which may go into nearby streams or may go into the water table below the field. Footnote 1. What is the sources of pollution that causes all the harm? We can identify the pollutants which have to be monitored in water quality studies. They include pathogens, organic contaminants, and inorganic contaminants. To define them further, pathogens include salmonella and norovirus, as well as parasitic worms. The worms are termed helminths and enter the body through the body's openings. Organic contaminants include detergents, disinfection products, food waste, insecticides and herbicides, tree and brush debris, industrial solvents and PCBs, as well as the pollution from the disposal of drugs. Sometimes we cause this by flushing our old prescriptions down the toilet. Inorganic pollutants include sulfur dioxide from power plants, ammonia, chemical waste, nitrate and phosphate fertilizer, heavy metals, and silt from construction sites. Here's one that you won't believe. Large trash is a pollutant. There is a jar of floating garbage 100 times the size of Texas floating in the North Pacific. It's not likely to affect our backyard. Another one is also limited in its effect on our homes. It is the pollution from power plants' cooling waters. Here's a simple pollution code for you to remember as you look over your backyard and examine the possible effect if any of these are present. These can hurt the purity of the water available to your backyard life. Check out the code, 3 letters to remember, PCF. These letters stand for pathogens, chemicals, and fertilizer. Example, pathogens can be simple as the bacteria in the water, such as caused by droppings from animals in the bird bath water. This is the reason that bird baths are poor sources of drinking water, as they are almost polluted immediately. Example, take a look at what fertilizer you're putting on your grass to make it green. It might make your wildlife green too. Fertilizer is everywhere in the yard. Example, use chemical spray to get rid of pesky insects. You might get rid of wildlife too. Chemicals would also include remains of road salt and other ice chemicals. Also, pesticides may infiltrate the water. If any nearby chemicals from your home construction work can migrate into the backyard, this would be a problem too. Footnote, and wikipedia.org/wiki/water-pollution.